Hello, and welcome to Star Trek Adventures in Lollygagging. This is Star Trek Adventures: The First Duty. I'm Steven. I will be your game master. And we left on a bit of a cliffhanger last session. So naturally, we're going to draw this out, and we're going to do character introductions instead of jumping right in the way I normally do. So, Derek, you are next to me on the overlay. Who are you playing? And then I've got another bonus question to ask you.
Yeah, so I'm playing Zharg Dvorggern, and I am the chief security officer, so in charge of ship weaponry.
And what was your favorite faction in the Dominion War? No, I'm just kidding.
I gotta say the Sith. I'm just
Oh no, we're gonna get so
just
many
say
YouTube
the
comments.
Dominion. It's right there in the question.
I wasn't listening, Professor. Can you repeat that?
All right, your actual question. Who is your favorite Star Trek actor? Any actor that has ever played in Star Trek. So essentially, you have all of Hollywood to choose from.
Yeah, so I've always liked, because so many people do the characterization of him. Is it William Shatner?
William
The one that has
Shatner.
the one that has the pauses in his
OG.
speech. I don't know why. I just think that's hilarious, but also interesting. It makes me pay attention more to dialogue.
No, that's fair, and it's one of my favorite choices too. Not that I'm a big fan of what was it, T.J. Hooker or any of his really later roles.
T.J. Hooker. Hey,
but,
Boston Legal was entertaining.
Yeah, Denny Crane, right?
Denny Crane.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. I'll give you that. Kipser, who are you playing?
I am playing Lieutenant Commander Talas Nostrum z'Azollarh. Depending on if you're with the maternal line, it's Nostrum. If you're the paternal line species, it's z'Azollarh. Most people tell me that's too complicated, so I'm just Dr. Talas or Lieutenant Commander Talas.
And who's your favorite Star Trek actor?
My favorite Star Trek actor would be Alexander Siddig. Last name pronunciation, probably.
I'm not going to question it because I would get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, who are you playing?
I am playing Commander Vice Danko, science officer, fan of flamenco music and many other Spanish flavored foods and things like that. As long as there's not too much spice, because the spice bothers the symbiote.
So, if one of you has an upset stomach, the other one does too?
Yeah, basically. So that's why we go Spanish food instead of because it's not as necessarily, you can kind of keep the spice down. It's not like we're doing Thai or something like that. Calm down.
Fair enough. And who's your favorite Star Trek actor?
There's so many, but I'm going to go with Jeffrey Combs because he has many roles. I think he's played 10 different characters across various shows. Character actor. He's been Cardassian. He's been a Ferengi. He has been a Vorta, a bunch of other things. So I just like the versatility.
Amazing. And Melissa, who are you playing?
I'm playing Commander Hessel, so I'm the communications officer. Denobulan is my species, and we can't not say Patrick Stewart, so I'm going to say Patrick Stewart. So
I was just worried you were going to say that your mom is your favorite actor. So actually naming a Star Trek actor, I'll take it. Aaron, who are you playing?
I am playing Lieutenant Commander Elro Argent. He is a Betazoid. He is the ship's first officer.
And your favorite Trekkie actor?
It's tough. There's so many unbelievably good ones, but I like to go. I'll go with captains, and I'll probably go with Avery Brooks with Anson Mount as a close second because I really like the new Strange New World show.
Good choice. As for me, because he was just such a big part of my childhood.
I'm sorry, Stephen. No one actually asked you. So let's just go ahead and move on with this.
Hey, Stephen, who's your favorite Star Trek actor? Oh, I'm glad you asked. He was a big part of my childhood. LeVar Burton, hands down for me. I was a big Trek fan as a kid, and I was a big Reading Rainbow fan. I would watch that every chance I got. So yeah, thank you, LeVar Burton. You should have been the host of Jeopardy. Ken Jennings is fine. Don't get me wrong, but I was really pulling for you because I know he's going to watch this. And we've got a bond. I requested that he would watch on Twitter, so I'm sure he will. Anyways, let's just jump in. Captain's log, stardate 56925.4. The Intrepid is responding to a distress call from the colony of Morgan's Hope in the Carina system. The colony is suffering from rapid aging. Both organic and inorganic materials are affected. We believe the effect could be the result of tachyon emissions from an unknown source. The gas giant Carina 9 emits a gravimetric static, making a sensor sweep quite time-consuming. Fortunately, Commander Danko devised a method that will expedite the process. Lieutenant Commander Argent is leading the away team on the planet's surface. A colonist there alleges that Romulans have infiltrated the system. We await the away team's findings. We cut to the away team. You have been running, you're out of breath, you got sweat dripping off your brow as you've been chasing a Romulan through the foothills of Carina 7. You are going down a winding, rough path, and you see him, finally, your quarry, wearing the silver triangular shaped tunic, the very well-defined tunic of a Romulan with the very pointy shoulders. You see the black bob of hair, and he ducks into a cave. As soon as he ducks into this cave, you should be able to see him. There's still light, but then he disappears just like that. As this happens, you receive a call from the comms. You recognize the voice as Captain Shelby. Lieutenant Commander, we are on display. Emit. Interfering with signal. Lost tracking. Do. Oppie?
Captain, this is Commander Argent. That your communications was broken up. We're going to pull back a few meters and see if we can't get a better signal lock. Commander Hessel, can you drop back about 50 meters and see if you can communicate with the ship? If you're able to get through to the captain, let her know our situation, ask for a security detail to transport down here, 6-man squad. I want this cave monitored if we decide to enter it.
Yes, of course. And she'll follow through and try again.
All right. Commander Hessel pulls back. The rest of you are holding position?
Yeah. Commander Danko, are you able to get anything?
No.
So Commander Hessel,
The dedication to the
He's caught
realism.
in face.
I know.
what it
Really
is.
feeling the Kirk now.
I was just making a joke about
pause. It's just a
tachyons,
long
but it's
pause.
the longest Kirk pause ever.
Tricorder.
Oh, on my tricorder. So Stephen, can I do any sort of additional readings about this this cave that he disappeared into? I mean Danko's already got like his own theory right now, but is there something I could do to maybe confirm what's happening here?
Yeah, I think it would be when you know what you're looking for. It wouldn't be hard to find confirmation. I'm not going to require a roll for this. You pull out your tricorder.
Yeah.
You find that there is a strange polarity field that emits here, and you're only picking it up because you're so close to it now. But you know that polarity fields are often a byproduct of cloaking fields that are not operating as precisely as they should. A cloaking device requires extremely fine tuning and perfect maintenance. And if anything is just out of a little bit of alignment, it can cause a field that creates like a slight magnetic field.
Okay.
And you're able to pick that up. You know that there is some sort of cloaking field. You're able to put the pieces together.
Sure. So yeah, he'll convey that. It's like, Commander, it's clear that the Romulans here have set up some sort of cloaking field, but the polarity is all out of whack. It seems as though that accounts somewhat for us being able to see him. I cannot get additional readings on what might be behind this field. Is that something I could possibly do, Mr. GM, sir?
Probably not. You would know that cloaking fields are mostly impenetrable.
Okay. So yeah, that's what he would convey.
Cloaking field requires a great deal of power output. Are you able to isolate any power source that they may be drawing on?
And so he's constantly scanning, pointing down at the surface of the Earth, seeing if it's maybe geothermal or anything like that. So is there anything I might be able to conclude there?
I'll give you the roll because I've said that it's not working perfectly. I think this would be reason science, but I'm going to say it's extremely difficult. I'm going to say difficulty 4.
Okay. Do we have any momentum? I can't remember if it rolls over or not.
You should have some momentum. I
4.
didn't get rid of it over the season. I'm not
Okay.
not
I
getting
have
rid of it
4
between
written as
sessions. So
well.
Okay. Difficulty 4. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 of it. So that's I'm going to try to get 2 dice. So I think that's 3 momentum I'm burning. So I'm up to 4. Okay. So I actually have a chance. And so this is reason, science, and okay. Yeah, those are all single digits. So I just rolled 2 9s and 2 7s. So that's 4 successes.
exactly 4. Okay. So your question was, are you picking up a energy source?
Mhm.
There is nothing that is geothermal. You are picking up a slight vibration, a slight tremor in the earth. It could almost read as if there's heavy machinery nearby. And if it aligns with your theories, as you love to make, it means that they would have some sort of power generator inside the cave.
Okay. So yeah, he'll convey. Yeah, he'll just basically convey that. Nothing with any certainty, but there are enough tremors in the earth to suggest that behind the cloaking field they have some sort of power generating device. We'll have to either somehow get past the field or disable the field entirely.
That's fair enough. It's, at least you didn't pick up any kind of dilithium intermix chamber or anything that would indicate that it's actually a cloaked ship under there. I don't want to find ourselves on a Romulan ship as it decides to leave orbit.
GM, was my scan that granular?
I think it would be fair to say that you can see that this is an actual mountain. In the cloaking device, the field seems to be covered the inside of the mountain. For a ship to be buried in the mountain would be unlikely.
Yeah, I think that's because I do think that's probably what he was thinking too. Like there's enough evidence to suggest that the mountain is in fact real. More than likely, it's some sort of hidden base as opposed to an actual ship itself.
Whoa.
Excellent.
We totally gotta reverse the polarity here.
That
All right,
is
let's
not
cut to
accurate. In fact,
What?
let's cut to Commander Hessel. You pulled back about 50 meters, and you're trying to get through. And this will be a check as well, and it will be a bit difficult. Not as difficult. Let's call it difficulty 3. I think it sounds like. I would say control science, maybe. I'm willing to take some alternatives if you would like to suggest a different method that you're going through.
Control science is fine.
Actually, I'm sorry. It looks like control engineering would be to adjust or repair a system or to operate a device. Which I think is like you're kind of troubleshooting your comms right now. So I think that kind of makes sense.
So I have an 11 in control and a 3 in engineering, and I rolled a 2 and a 6.
Okay. You needed a difficulty 3, so you need 2 successes. Were you using a focus? Because if so, one of those successes would be a critical.
I have subspace communications and communication systems. I've got 2 different focuses.
Both of those would work fine. Okay. So you're actually getting, you said your engineering was 3?
Yeah.
So you're getting 4 successes there. So you're getting the required 3 plus 1 momentum. You get through. It is broken. It appears that the whatever cloaking field is around, there's also a jammer that is emanating. And it's very difficult to get through. You're patching up. You're able to use your tricorder to power your communications to boost your personal communicator a little bit easier. And you're able to get through, but it is broken. You're able to send the message to send a security team. It is acknowledged. This is something that takes probably a minute or so as you're going back and forth, making sure that you are clearly understood. It is acknowledged there is a security team that is on their way.
Would there, now that you mentioned that, would I be able to then attempt to triangulate kind of the interference?
Yeah, that would be obtain information, I think. So you're spending a momentum to ask a question, which would be triangulating the interference, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The interference is coming from the cavern ahead, as you would likely suspect. But you also know that there is interference happening on the other end. There is a jammer on your side and a jammer in space somewhere out there that's causing communication for the Intrepid, causing communication problems for the Intrepid. So we'll say that's what you get with the obtain information.
Then I would, if I can kind of roll all that together, that would be part of my communication back to them is, recommend that they do their own scans because this is not just being jammed down here on the ground, but is also being jammed local to them.
And that is also acknowledged.
Okay. With that all being done, and I know other people will be doing other things, but I would then move my way kind of back to the group.
So you all meet up. You're still outside of this cave. We'll say you're 30 meters away or so. What are you doing?
Were you able to get through Commander Hessel?
Yes, I did what I needed to do to kind of boost my signal here. We are being jammed somewhere here inside of the cave, which we probably figured out. But there is also a ship that is jamming the signal closer to our ship as well.
They are going to send down a security squad.
They did receive the communication, so that should be occurring.
Excellent. Lieutenant Dvorggern, when your security team gets down here, deploy them however you see fit. Once they're in position, we'll make our entrance into the cavern.
Understood.
Does anybody else have any thoughts on this?
I definitely agree that we'll need increased security, but if we're going to address the situation, it seems that our next step is going to be in that direction.
How many Romulans did this farmer observe? Just one?
The reports indicate that he never saw more than one. The reports don't indicate whether or not he indicated that he saw the same one every time.
And there's only one that attacked the two of you.
Correct.
It's certainly possible then that this is not a highly staffed location. If possible, we could try to get to the other side of the field and I could take more invasive and thorough scans to determine exactly how many we're dealing with.
That would be helpful information to have. It's still a bit a ways away for them, so it would be ideal if it were 5-1.
Around now is when Commander Hessel, your communicator would come through because you purposefully amplified it. The rest of yours, it does seem as if there's a jam in effect. Commander Hessel, you are told that the security team has arrived. However, they were not able to beam extremely close because of whatever this effect is. They are close. If you essentially, they're about a minute out, is all it is. But you're able to coordinate with them. So, Dvorggern, if you have any suggestions for routes that you want them to take, now's the time.
Do we know if there are any other entrances to this cave, or is this just like the only mouth?
This is all that you've seen. As you are spending some time here, you would see that there is. It appears that you're in front of a sheer cliff with some craggy openings in this cave entrance. Close inspection of the ground reveals that there's lots of tracks going to and from the base of this cliff into the cave. The tracks are recent, and it appears if someone is in a hurry. You don't see them leading to any other sections of the cliff, but that's not hard to believe because, like I said, the paths are winding. It's rough terrain. If there was another exit, it would likely be on the other side of the mountain or around a corner going through the valley.
Would we
I do have some concern.
Phasers on us? Because I know we came down in a position. I wasn't sure if we brought them with us or not.
So what I would say is that anyone can say at any time that you have phaser 1, the basic pistol.
Okay.
And that's fair to say that you take it on any away mission, even if you don't expect conflict. That'll just be like Schrodinger's phaser. You have it when you need it. You don't have it when you don't need it. And then the actual phaser type 2, anyone could get, but that would be something that you have to call out before you go on the mission, which is just like the amplified version. It's the security team's version of phasers.
Dvorggern and I could try to get closer, see if we can get to the other side of the field. It can cover me while I take additional scans. I might be able to try a way to descramble the polarity field that is currently in place here, which might allow us better intelligence as to what's on the other side. The longer we wait,
would be helpful.
The longer we wait, the greater the likelihood that singular Romulan becomes multiple Romulans.
Exactly. Or he transports away with critical information that we need. So go ahead and proceed, Commander.
So yeah, so Danko wants to get up close, and he's inviting, God dang it, Zharg,
Dvorggern,
to kind of cover him as he does so, since he's the tactical officer.
Yeah, I've got my phaser out, and I just mentioned back I have you covered.
Okay.
All right.
So
the two of you move forward.
Yeah.
Taking all precautions.
Mm-hmm.
Danko, you have your tricorder out doing readings as you're walking. And you go into this cave. The rest of you see them walk in and then immediately disappear. For Danko and Dvorggern, you're going from this rough terrain, and then you hear the clink of metal flooring underneath your boots. The sound does not penetrate that cloaking field. For the rest of you, you don't hear anything. You don't see anything. It's just gone. Dvorggern, Danko, you find yourself in actual facility. This is a long hallway, and it's very clearly Romulan architecture. You are at the entrance, essentially. There is a blast door on the other side that is currently closed. You wouldn't know whether it's locked unless you get closer.
Okay. Now that we're within this cloaking field, I want to do a broad scan, see if I can scan for life signs, trying to get any kind of numbers within here of what we might be going into. So is that something I could do?
Yes. I'm trying to think of like what the range would be on your tricorder. It's absolutely something you could do. Let's call it. We'll say it's a difficulty 2.
I can certainly modify the isolinear photonic field to see if I can expand the range of my tricorder.
Someone pulled up his Technobabble.
I got it right here. I'm ready to go. Technobabble.
I got it in my notes too.
I love this thing. It's the greatest.
Yeah, I think difficulty 2, definitely science.
Okay.
I think reason.
Okay. I mean, you're speaking my language when you say stuff like that. How are we doing on momentum? I'll burn it.
1.
Okay, I'll burn it.
We actually have 2, don't we? 1 from Melissa and 1 left over after Jeff did his initial roll.
We should have 2.
Okay.
2?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we spent 1 on accessing information, but
She did. She
Oh,
did spend
that's
an
right.
unobtained.
My
Okay.
bad.
That's what
Sorry,
I did.
Jeff. This would be control.
Control.
Yeah.
Okay. so
Reason is specifically when you're forming a hypothesis. Control is when
Okay.
you're performing an experiment.
Okay. Well, could I make a case for daring? Because this is a little bit reckless. Zharg and I have come through here, and I'm getting closer and closer. It's a little bit more.
I think you could make a case for insight more than daring. Daring says to devise a solution without sufficient proof, whereas insight could be to gain useful data.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm trying to devise a solution, but that's fine.
That's fine.
No.
Let's go with
It's
daring.
fine. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna burn that last. I'm gonna burn the last momentum to have 3. Then I'm gonna spend a determination to automatically set one of these to a 1, so I have a critical success. So that's 2 successes already, and then I'm gonna roll the rest of them. And then I rolled an 8 and an 11, which are 2 more successes. So I now have 4 successes. And then because I'm a veteran, whenever I spend determination, I can roll a d20. And if it's equal or less to my control ability, I get that determination back, which I did not in this case, but it was worth a try. So it's 4 successes.
I cannot tell you how much I love just hearing all the abilities pile up. I really do love it. 4 successes. You only needed 2, so you've got 2 momentum here. With your success, you are scanning. There are 3 life signs in the immediate area. And then you find faint life signs further on. You can't tell how many, but it's small, less than a dozen total.
I would like to, I also generate an additional momentum that I have to use immediately, which I'm going to now use for obtain information. So I'd like to ask some questions about these life forms. The first life forms.
And you get 2 questions when you spend 1 momentum for obtain information?
Yes, I do. This is stupid. First question is, do I have an idea? Are these all Romulan? Or all the life signs?
They're all Romulan.
Okay. So, and then the second question, and you said there was like 3 more, like there's 3 like relatively close, and then like there's fainter ones deeper inside.
Yes, up to 3 more. I'm sorry. When I meant half a dozen, I meant outside of the 3. So up to 6 more within this general region. So there could be up to 9 Romulans. There may be less.
Okay. And then, so this is specific about obtaining information about like my life sign scan. So, see, this is the problem with obtaining information. I have to actually come up with the 2 questions.
You want the specific number? I'll give you the specific number.
I'll take the specific number. Yeah.
Okay. There are 6 total Romulans in the facility.
Okay. So there's 6 total Romulans. Okay. So in all life
there are
signs
3
Romulans,
immediately there, and then 3 that are further out. 2 of them are clustered together as well.
Okay. So he will, in hushed tones, he will lean behind Dvorggern's ear, and he'll explain, I'm getting 6 Romulans, 3 relatively close, 3 fainter, more distant, 2 are clustered together. Does not look to be overly fortified. Only 6 shouldn't be too much of an issue for your boys, shouldn't it?
We should be able to handle it, but I have an idea potentially of how to put the odds more in our favor. So, as the rookie in the crew, is there any way that I can look to see what kind of like security systems they have set up, or like if doors are locked? I do have a security system focus, so I'm wondering if I can put the facility on lockdown. We can just unlock 1 room at a time so that they can't get back up, and we can sweep as needed.
Yes, I love this. I think that this would be a case for reason security, or maybe insight security would be better. I think one of those 2 would fit well for this.
Yeah, I can use reason security, so that would put me at 15, and then with my security system. So how many dice do I roll? Just 2 for this?
You get 2 base, and I think difficulty for this, let's rephrase the question. What's your core question?
Can I lock the facility down so that we're not overwhelmed by their numbers immediately?
Okay.
So before he rolls
essentially,
that,
you want to. I'm sorry.
One of the things to say is before he rolls that, since I asked 2 questions, I could form a rapid hypothesis, and my rapid hypothesis is that the crew is scattered and unprepared. And then if he uses this, if he's using this information about them being scattered and unprepared to lock the system down and separate these people, that means he would get he can re-roll one of his d20s on his check. Because I'm a teacher.
Sweet.
Steven just tried to quit.
Rage quit. Sorry, I was trying to unmute, hit the wrong button. Yes, I love the rapid hypothesis. Put it in our active traits notes, so we've got that. And then Derek, I think this would now that you're like specifically trying to take control of the system, I think control security would be better.
Okay. That still keeps me at 15. And then, all right. So how many successes will I need? Because I'm assuming
we're going to say that this would be you're attempting to sort of like hack Romulan systems.
Right.
This would be 3 successes.
Okay. And if I can roll 2 dice, I would need to use momentum then to get additional dice.
You can
correct?
spend 1 momentum to get an additional die.
And
Yes.
we currently have 2, so
And
there's options.
Or if you have any
focus-
focuses. Yeah.
Your focus still counts. You had the security systems or something, right?
Right. Oh, so then I would have 2, and then with the focus it would be 3, and if I took 1 momentum, I'd roll 4.
No.
That's not what
So
focus
the way the
says.
focus works
Yeah.
is that when you roll a die that is equal to your discipline or lower for something that's your focus, it's a critical success, and it counts as 2 successes instead of 1.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, if I'm needing 3 successes, I'm going to take 1 momentum then, so I can roll 3 dice.
You can also
and I would-
do what I just did, which is burn a determination, which would automatically set one of the dice that you're about to roll to a 1, which means it's a critical success, which means you're already starting with 2 successes, which is what I just did. You get 3 of those basically for a mission, essentially. And there's ways to get it back in terms of your value.
Just watch what Jeff does and copy it. Because
Played a bunch of
someone
D20.
Whenever Jeff rolls, just say ditto and roll some dice.
I come
Ditto.
up with the rapid hypothesis and I just shoot.
Wait a second. That's a talent. What are you talking about?
All right. So
Okay.
to recap what's happening here, you took the momentum, so you're getting 3 dice, the 1 for
Yeah.
momentum and then 2 of your base. You're
Right.
using your determination, so one of those dice is set to 1.
Yep.
So you're only rolling 2 dice here.
Right.
You are using your focus on security systems that you are using. Any die that's lower than 4 is a double success.
Okay.
So with the one that's already set to 1, you're starting with 2 successes. You're rolling
Yep.
2 dice. You need a
Yep.
15 or lower.
Yep, I rolled an 8 and an 11, so I got 2 additional successes. So 1 turns into a momentum.
Yes.
Cool.
So you're getting a success. You are taking control of the security. Essentially, we're going to say that you're just closing blast doors. And you'll be able to reopen them as needed, but it will take like an action. It's not something that you can just like immediately go on your tricorder. It's not the click of a button, but you're going to be able to take control of the system essentially and occasionally close doors here and there if you spend some time doing it.
Okay, now am I allowed to ask 2 questions to copy Jeff? I'm just kidding. I do have a question though. Would the Romulans know this, or would they only find out once they attempt to open a door?
That's a good question. If
Spend
you were trying to do it,
to obtain information, which would then grant him that information.
yes, but you only get 1 question when you
He
do
only
obtain
gets 1.
information.
So spend momentum, and then I have to ask a specific question.
And then you're asking if they will know this.
Correct.
I rolled to determine this because I don't know enough about Star Trek tech. Yes. As soon as you go through this, there is not like a red alert alarm, but there is a warning, like sort of like a fire alert where the blast doors close. And that's how you were able to take control of the system.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So then Dvorggern will just mention to Danko, I have them all sectioned off, but they will probably try to get around it. So time is going to be of the essence.
Watch that door. And then, so he'll like kind of tap you on the shoulder, and then he'll turn back so that he's through the cloaking field, so he can like either communicate or hand signal to Commander Argent, and kind of let him know, like he'll do like hand signals for the amount that are inside, so like 6, and then he'll like try to motion them forward to join.
Before that happens, we're going to cut back to the three of you who've been outside, waiting patiently. We have a security lieutenant commander supporting character here. And I forget which one of you rolled it up. I know it wasn't Kipser or Derek. Do either of you remember which one of you rolled security?
All I remember is it was a Bajorn. Only thing I remember is I rolled a Bajorn.
So Aaron, what does the security commander look like? Lieutenant commander.
He's about 5'10". He's well built. He's got a very severely scarred face. Looks like he probably was in hand-to-hand combat against somebody with a bladed weapon. He's completely bald. Obviously, his scars could have been regenerated and repaired, but he kept them, so there must be some reason behind that. He's a very taciturn individual, very, very Starfleet focused, but he is a soldier. I mean, he's Starfleet security, but after the Dominion War, he thinks of himself more as a soldier than as a Starfleet officer.
And what is his name? And you can't say Jim Buck 2. That one's already taken.
Jim Buck 2. No, I think
Jim Buck 1.
Jim Buck 1.
Boren Wuffet.
Didn't I talk to Jim Buck 2 last time? And something about knowing his father, Jim Buck the First. So stupid.
I'm going to go with Jedediah Cole.
All right. And you see Lieutenant Commander Cole jogging forward with 5 other security officers behind them. Jedediah Cole, of course, being the commander of this away team. Lieutenant Commander Argent, orders?
Cole, good to see you. I want a 3-man security team dug in, observing the entrance to this cave. No one in or out unless they're us. I want you to take, and your other 3 men, you divide your squad however you want. We're coming with us. We're entering the facility. We've got information from Commander Danko that there is a small group of Romulans that are within this facility, and we need to flush them out and find out what they're doing here on our planet.
Understood. In his normal terse nature, he gives one-word responses. And he doesn't even bark out the orders. He just uses hand signals again. He points to 3 people and then makes a motion for them to dig in. And they immediately take defensive positions. There's plenty of cover nearby with this rough terrain. And then he sends one person to go wide and then points to the other person and immediately steps in behind the 3 of you.
Real quick, Cole. One last thing. Have one of your men go about 50 meters out, communicate with the ship, have them transport 2 more security personnel down with pattern buffers for the transporter so we can do a site-to-site transport, look closer to the cave in the eventuality that somebody gets injured and we need to get him back to the ship quickly.
Understood. Zh'Azollarh. And he looks to one of them, and that person pops up and starts jogging backwards, taking the orders. Not jogging backwards, jogging the way you came. They don't know how to turn yet. That's a whole different tactical maneuver. They know you never turn your back on the enemy.
God. The tachyon field is expanded. Time is moving backwards. We need to get all the enterprises directly in the core.
Temporal interference is one of our traits. We get more bonuses for that.
All right. So there are 5 of you then who turn back to the cavern, and you see Danko come out and do his hand signs, telling you that there are 6 Romulans inside and that you are prepared to move forward. Yes, the interpretive dance of flamenco hand signs. All right. So
once he's done doing that, he jogs backwards into the the cloaking field.
Yep, that's fair. So the away team, you meet up then inside the cloaking field?
Yes.
And,
all right, so there are the 5 of you plus 2 more security officers.
He'll do a full debrief.
Okay. And at this point, it's been 10 minutes since you've seen the Romulan go inside the facility.
Well, let's get
Shall
in there.
we?
We need to get to the bottom of this.
So we've got that door to take a look at. You said that we didn't know until we get close if it's
locked or not. I will say we can roll over because of Dvorggern getting it into the system that he'll be able to unlock it.
Okay.
Because of that Dvorggern, I don't think you could be the first one in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I want to use my telepathy to scan the immediate area and see if there are any mines directly on the other side of the door.
So with Donko giving you his breakdown as well, you would know that there are 3 Romulans almost immediately on the other side of the door. Using your telepathy as well would confirm that.
So I would say we've got 3 targets and give them a basic dispersal pattern of where I detected those mines on the other side of the door. So basically what I'm going to be doing is after the door opens, the first one through, I'm going to give them, I'm hoping that this, by pointing out where they're at, I can either reduce the difficulty of what they're doing by creating the trait. This is a trait that I want to create with my action of a strategy for going at them to reduce the difficulty. And if that works, that will activate plan of action. And whenever an ally, if they succeed at the task that was made less difficult by a trait I created based on a plan or a strategy or a course of action, they will get 2 bonus momentum to spend as part of their action that cannot be saved.
Awesome. So go ahead and put down that trait in our active traits. That does lead me to a rules question that might come up, but we'll get to it when it comes up. Okay. That absolutely. You come up with a plan. You know that the Romulans are fanned out inside. They're not necessarily clustered together, but they all are in the immediate vicinity. And you're able to generally pinpoint. And we'll say that each of you is essentially taking a target then. So with this strategy that you've come up with, who are going to be the first ones inside? The door is a large blast door. It's going to slide open. There will essentially be one of you that goes in first and then 2 more that can immediately follow as the door opens.
I would think the security guys would go.
Yeah, the security guards.
That's what the red shirts are for, right?
What the red shirts are
okay.
here for.
So
Gold shirt
Jedediah
style.
Cole is going to be the first one in, Lieutenant Commander Cole. Who are going to be the next 2?
His 2 security guys.
He only brought 1 security guy with him, we said. So there are 7 of you total.
Danko will
2
go
are.
in. He's got a 10 daring, so I think I have the highest daring on our senior staff. So I think he's up. He's up there. He's he's lived a long life.
Right.
He's ready for the next body.
I would say Hessel can go as well.
So after we get those first 3, the doors will be open, and then everyone else will be able to pour in afterwards. I'm really just thinking the Romulans have set up an ambush here. It's not too much of a spoiler to say that this. So whoever is there when the door first opens is going to be taking some fire.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Doctor, do you have a medical bag with you?
Yeah, dude, of course. I brought my med kit. I got my hypo spray, my laser scalpel. I'm ready to rumble.
Is it possible that you might have something, this is Jeff talking, that you could throw together, like a little smoke bomb or something, or a little something like that, just to kind of help us with the this breach? Either they get sleepy, or they just something gets into their eyes, like a makeshift tear gas or something.
Pepper spray. Yeah,
there we go.
Sure. Stephen, am I allowed to roll for
Let's
that?
do. Yes, this is interesting. I like control medicine for this.
Okay, cool. So control is 11, medicine is 5, so that's a 16.
It'll be standard gear. We'll say difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. I'll just roll the standard 2. I don't have. Oh, you know what? One of my focuses is improvisation. From
Absolutely.
being
Nice.
an inventor.
We're gonna
all right.
splash hydrogen peroxide or rubbing alcohol in their eyes.
All right. I rolled a 7 and a 16. So one of them meets it and the other one beats it.
All right. That is not enough for your focus, I believe, though. So that's 2 successes over 1. You're able to come up with this. Essentially, it'll lower difficulty, we'll say, similar to a trait for... I'm sorry, I think this is more of a defensive thing. So it will lower difficulty for them shooting, or raise difficulty for them shooting at you, we'll say. As the door's opening, you have it ready and set to go off. It'll provide cover for whoever's being shot at. What would you like to do with your other momentum? Would you like to bank it or spend it?
I'll bank it for the other players to use.
Okay, fantastic.
I feel like they're about to do a bunch of rolls.
All right, so we have our plan.
Us, not you, just us.
Yeah, no. I'm daring 7. I'm way at the back over here. Yeah, thanks, dude. Here is like as good as a rave I once went to. Should like smoke the joint up real good.
So, in before session 1, even we said we were not doing lower decks, and Kipser is like, no, I'm doing lower decks.
I am a serious medical professional. I am very good at my job.
Kipser, I love playing with you. I will give you shit because I enjoy playing with you.
You're wearing sunglasses in a cave.
Yeah, dude. I gotta watch out for the lights, you know?
All right. So the doors open, the smoke bomb goes off. That's going to make this difficulty higher. It's going to be difficulty 3. As soon as the doors open, disruptor fire comes through. I would have spent this threat on whoever went through first. You guys have decided to send Lieutenant Commander Cole in first, so he's going to take the hit. What do you got?
Decisive leadership. In a conflict, once per round, I can keep the initiative for free.
All right, you get the initiative.
I knew he was going to do
this. So because I laid this plan out, and I've worked so closely with Cole, he knows. And so he hits slow, and he comes in with his Type 2 phaser, and he goes, now!
All right, so the way I would like to work this then is, let's not have the NPCs actually do the fighting. We'll say that the NPCs will give you essentially a bonus momentum to your rolls. You've got 2 NPCs. Each of you can say the NPC is assisting you, whether they're providing covering fire or something like that. So I think it would make sense then for Donko to go first here. And Cole is drawing fire, so whatever your action will be, you'll gain a bonus momentum because you said you were going to be going first.
Okay.
In the first line.
Remember, your difficulty is down by 1, and if you hit, you get 2 additional bonus momentum, so you would get 3 bonus momentum in total.
Okay. So I keep misplacing all my D20s. I keep putting them over here and taking them out of my dice tray. So when I look over to my dice tray, I'm like, I could have sworn I had like 20 D20. Okay.
Where'd they go?
So
and hold on, I should probably describe the scene since I'm not ambushing you. You should actually see what you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
So the doors open, you peer into a dimly lit room. As soon as the doors open, disruptor fire starts blasting. This makeshift smoke bomb immediately starts going. So you have that acrid smell, and it kind of clouds your eyes a little bit, but you're able to see through it. There's already the smell of burning plastic and burning ozone that just pours out of this room. Overhead lights are flickering. And you see that this was an observation post that has been hastily converted into a sort of laboratory, but given the destruction inside, it's unlikely that anything in here is salvageable. All of the machinery is broken and ruined. You see that there are 3 Romulans that are hiding behind this broken machinery, and they immediately start firing at you. 2 of them have disruptor pistols. Those are on the sides. One in the center is holding a disruptor rifle.
Okay. So Danko is a veteran. Danko served obviously in the Dominion War and might have been on the previous Intrepid when it was destroyed. So like he's been in these types of situations before. So he's going in. He's behind Cole. He sees the rifle. So for his main action, he's going to try with his phaser. He's got his phaser on stun. He doesn't want to kill anybody. but he doesn't want to be killed. So he's going to fire at the one with the rifle for his main action. So that's his attack. And it's security plus what's the attribute? I'm sorry.
It's control security, and because they have cover, it's actually an opposed check as well.
Okay. And I have an extra momentum, which I'll go ahead and spend on an extra die. The difficulty is reduced because of Commander Argent. I will go ahead and take another die with momentum, so I'm up to 4 dice basically now.
So that actually brings the rules question. The difficulty is reduced, but how does that work on an opposed die, or opposed roll, which doesn't have difficulty? Do any of us know this?
I think you reduce what they roll.
Reduce
by
one of their successes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Okay. So here we go.
That's how it is in Conan. So.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything like combat focused, so I'm going in anyway. All right, so that's going to be 3 successes. I rolled really low on 3 of them, but I unfortunately don't have. That's a 7, not a 1. Okay, so 3 successes.
All right, they rolled 2 successes, which is reduced by 1. So you're beating them and getting 2 momentum.
Okay. So then go ahead.
You've got that 2 momentum that I gave you, but that has to be used as part of this action. So either for extra damage or information or something.
So there's 2 bonus momentum and possibly 1 more if you use Lieutenant Commander Cole as a bonus.
I used him to get an extra die on the shot. Yeah, so I'm going to burn the 2 from Commander Argent to get more damage. So I'll burn his 2. And let me see. I also have a bonus one because my Trill species ability gives me whenever I generate 1 bonus momentum for each D20 purchased. So I purchased 2. So I think I'm generating 2 more, which means I'm going to spend 4 momentum on damage.
Okay, which is the maximum momentum that you can spend on damage. Your severity is 3 for the phaser you have, which bumps it up to 5 severity then, which is stun. You said you're not trying to kill. And you hit this Romulan and you knock them unconscious. The disruptor flies out of their hands. It scatters across this metal floor, and you see their body fall. You know that they're still alive, but they are out of this fight.
And then for my minor action, I want to move into and around the door, see if I can find a place. I know it's not 100% cover, but I basically want to clear for the next wave coming in, move off to the side, that kind of stuff.
All right. So you move in off to the side. Next row is lined up behind you. Unless someone is trying to keep the initiative, it's going to be my turn here.
We can keep it. 2 momentum spend. We got 3. Let's go ahead and keep it.
I had a feeling Aaron would want to keep that. All right. Then you, who wants to go next? I think it's fair that anyone else here would be able to go. Lieutenant Commander Cole and the other security officer have moved in and out as well. They're drawing most of the fire. What are you doing?
Argent will telepathically assault one of the Romulans to stun his mind. It's a presence plus security with a difficulty of 2.
Okay. I don't think cover would apply for this, so yeah, let's just do it. Would your difficulty be lowered by 1 for this, or is that only for people?
That's only for that one. Only for that one. And it's only for that one occurrence. Okay, so security. What did I say? Security plus presence for me is a 16. I got a 2 and a 12. So that is 2 successes, which is all I needed.
Precisely enough. And I'll tell you that these ones holding the pistols, they're Romulan Ulans. They're essentially nameless NPCs, which means that 1 successful hit is enough to take them out of the fight. So what does this look like as you telepathically barrage them enough that they are incapacitated?
So, I mean, you guys don't even see anything. You just see and those of you who served during the Dominion War with Commander Argent probably know that he's capable of this. You know that he spends a lot of time working with the Vulcans on the ship to try to hone his telepathy. You just see him stare at a Romulan, and you just see the Romulan just collapse. Like he got a mental Vulcan neck pinch, and that drops him. Now, however, no, I'll save it. There's no need to spend it here. I was going to say I could spend. I've got the follow my lead action. I'll go ahead and do that. When I succeed at a task in combat, I can spend a determination. And then the next ally that can hear me counts as having assistance from me, and that assistance die is automatically a 1.
Cool.
So you see me drop him. I'll spend a point of determination, and I look back at the others, and I'm like, "There's one left. Hit him hard. Put him down."
But you don't have enough momentum to keep the initiative this time, so I'm going to roll some dice that I was excited to roll all day, thinking I'd get a little ambush off. But that's fine. I'm the GM.
We're too smart.
It,
We're a Star Trek crew. We're just too intelligent. Come on.
That's true. That's true.
Who thinks this?
I was going to
Star
spend
Wars?
so much threat on that initial attack, but now that 2 of them are down, I'm going to save some of that threat. That might
really
be useful
wanted to
later.
take Cole out. You just wanted to put a hole right in him.
This will be going at Cole. I think that makes sense. So let's see how this goes. It's a whiff. So the disruptor goes high. That was 0 successes on my dice. The disruptor goes high, perhaps because of the smoke pattern, perhaps because of the returned stun phaser fire, or because they see that their companions fell almost immediately, and you smell the burning of the metal up above the blast door. And who's going next?
Talas, kind of following and watching Argent's example, and pull up their empathy and try to hit someone with total wave of sadness, bro.
All right. So is this security presence again?
Yeah, I was just trying to. Okay, so Aaron, when you used your telepathy, I was just pulling it up on the book.
Empathy doesn't have an attack option. There's a telepathic talent that I took called telepathic projection. That is an attack option. So.
All right, so we'll say that you make him feel real sad, but maybe he was already feeling sad because he just saw his companions die.
Stunned.
Your action to be that.
Stunned.
Get stunned.
Stunned.
We're Star Trek again. You just.
I'm sorry. I've played too much D&D over the years.
But yeah, I can just shoot him and stun him with my phaser.
Okay. So that'll be control security.
So I just need.
And you have assistance, so you just need to hit the 2, difficulty 2, and you're gonna get an additional 2 successes.
Yes. Okay, so that is. Oh my god. I rolled a 19 and an 18.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
That's about
Some
right.
sunglasses.
It's real hard to see in this cavern.
The whole do no harm thing, if you stun someone, they might
honestly.
fall and twist a leg,
You see Commander Argent look over at Talas. Come on, Doc.
Bruh,
regardless, that
I
is the
fix
last
people,
Romulan
not
in the
shoot
fight.
people. I'm a
You do
doctor,
get a minor
not a
action
shot.
if you'd like. I'm a doctor, not a shot.
Not a
Would you like
shooter.
to spend a minor action?
No, I'm good. I think my luck has told me that I need to let Hessel take over and do something useful.
All right. And Dvorggern, I'll say that you can still take an action this first round. You just couldn't have been the first one in because you were opening the door. So
No
it's
worries.
Dvorggern or Hessel.
Yeah, Hessel can go. It's no worries.
So she'll kind of the way has been cleared a little bit, and she'll kind of come in and just say, we need to be able to talk this out, but first she'll try to stun the last one that's there.
All right. Control security. Did you want to take a minor action before? You can aim as a minor action too. Just throwing that out there for Kipser.
And what does aim benefit me?
You can reroll a d20.
I can do that. I've been standing watching folks in front of me. So I will. Can I reroll a nat 20?
Yeah.
It should be any d20, so
yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, that'd be a good one to reroll.
To make sure, clearly, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't stuck with it. Okay, so control security for me is 13, and I rolled a 10, and then my reroll was a 13.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. That's all you needed. So you're hitting. What's this look like?
So she's just kind of watching everyone else in front of her, and kind of seeing this one is still there, and thought that maybe the doc might take care of this one, and so she was just kind of like aiming at it, and saw that one was still standing after Doc was kind of trying to shoot at it. So she'll say, "We have some things that we need to talk about, but first, phaser shots in a mass."
And it hits. The Romulan goes down, drops the disruptor pistol. The smoke from your medical bomb there begins to clear and dissipate. And you find yourself in this rather large makeshift lab that's just been destroyed and ransacked. You go through, you secure the area, you make sure there are no more Romulans. You pull the weapons away. They are stunned, so they're going to be out for a bit, but just in case. And given the destruction of this lab, it's unlikely that anything will be salvageable. There are computer banks and consoles that have disruptor burns. Smoke pours forth from the holes inside them. The floor is littered with smashed pads and other equipment. The Romulans must have evacuated this facility in a hurry because they destroyed some very sophisticated equipment that would be difficult to replace.
Argent would want to have the doc run a scan on the Romulans to make sure they don't have any poison capsules or cortical bombs or anything like that, because they're Romulans. Make sure they don't have any other weapons on them, etc. Because we need to be able to question them.
I'd definitely go over and just start doing a natural check to make sure they're stable, and then listen to Argent and do a double check for any hidden compartments within them.
I think it makes sense for insight medicine here. Diagnose patient. Yeah, that sounds about right. As you're scanning them.
That is pull out my tricorder. Start.
And we'll say difficulty 1.
I've got a 14 for doing insight medicine. Let me see here. Please don't roll like last time. Okay, I got a 6 and a 15, so I do have 1 success.
Okay, and I said difficulty 1, so that is a success. You'll find that the ones who were holding the pistols did not have anything of the sort. The one who had the disruptor rifle, you see that they also have the command insignia. Likely you all would have basic familiarity with the insignia of Romulans here. You would know that they are ranked as a sub-commander. And this one did have a poison capsule that you're able to easily make inert.
Yo, Argent, you were totally right. This one here, definitely higher up. It totally had a poison capsule thing going on.
Thanks, Doc. Lieutenant Dvorggern. Let's make sure that they don't have any secret comms units on them either. I don't want somebody doing a transport on them while we're trying to get them back to the Intrepid. And then have your men get them out there to the reinforced pattern buffers and have them transported into holding cells on the Intrepid.
Right away.
Dvorggern, do you want to just hand that off to Cole?
No, he wants to make a good impression and not just hand stuff off.
That's fair. Okay, so let's go insight security for this one. I think that makes sense. Discern whether they are a threat to you or your allies. If there's potential for an ambush or trap, that makes sense.
Could Cole give him some sort of bonus for being there?
If you succeed, you'll get a bonus momentum.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that dice just shot across the floor. Hold on. Okay,
Replacement.
I got a 9 and a 13, and you said it was control and security?
Insight secure.
Oh, insight. Oh, okay, then that is 14. So I got just under with a 9 and a 13.
So 2 successes then?
Yeah.
All right, and a bonus momentum. We're going to say this was difficulty 1 as well, so you're getting the success. You're able to remove any sort of signal tracking they have. Perhaps they have like the comparable communicator that they would have. You're able to take away and disable that. You have a momentum that can be banked or spent, and then a bonus momentum that has to be spent or lost. Is there anything that you think you can think of that you'd like to use that on?
So I'll bank the one, and then the one that I have to use.
So things that you could spend momentum on is like creating opportunities, which would be I'm sorry, I'm going through the list. Creating opportunities, how you buy a d20 before the task. You can spend 2 momentum to establish a new trait, which could be a trait like communications disrupted for the Romulans, something like that. You can use it to obtain information, which was where you get to ask your question. You can spend 2 momentum to reduce time.
Could spend 2 momentum to alter a trait, and you could find a piece of their computer equipment that's still functioning. You could alter the trait from being destroyed, or he's got a security key on him that's going to allow him to get into the computer systems, and we might be able to download some information or something like that.
Actually, I would like to because at first I was thinking of using their communicator to make it seem like, all clear for their side, so they're like on less alert, but I like the getting some information from the stuff they tried to destroy, so I'd like to see what they wanted to hide from us.
Okay. So you're spending your bonus momentum, and instead of banking it, you're spending the second to alter a trait that there is not complete destruction here.
Right.
And we'll say that you go through the sub-commander, and they fell on top of a pad that is still functional. Likely that they were using this, and it still has access to a pad is like the Star Trek version of an iPad, essentially. It's still functional, and they were likely using this to do their basic tasks as they were destroying the rest of the facility. This would have been one of the last things they destroyed, and it shows you that there is a single computer bank that is still functional. As you're going through the pad, would you be the one to go through the pad, Dvorggern? It doesn't really matter. I'm just asking.
No, I think I would hand it off because I mostly just know security things. I wouldn't know like communications or any other information. So either like Dako or Hessel or maybe Argent could make better time with it.
Okay. And we'll say it takes a little bit of time, but I'm going to give you the information now. As you're going through the pad, you find that there is a scant bit of information specifically regarding Morgan's Hope. It includes not only data on the population, but also notes about the phenomena that have occurred, with specific mentions, especially of the Mackley family and their child, the boy that is 6 months old but has the body of a 6-year-old. Given the timeline of events on the pad, the Romulans have been studying the colony for at least 2 years.
So it appears that everyone did not take our friendly farmer seriously, but she was quite right.
So there's data on it. Can I look at the data? So basically, what I'm trying to figure out is the context of how they've been studying it. Are they studying this because it's as if they've set up an experiment and are now observing the effects of that experiment? Like, does it? So, like, I want to try to go through their conclusions, their data, seeing if like this looks like data collection as a result of something they have caused.
Like comparing control data to experiment data and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd be interested in reading over Danko's shoulder for the medical side, like how if they're altering. No, come on, dude. Just like hold on.
The heavy breathing.
You smell like smoke. Why do you smell like smoke,
dude? Like, hold on. Yeah.
Have you been
go back
cheese?
a page. Go back a page. Scroll back up.
What? Oh, I see you've taken off your sunglasses so you can finally read.
Yeah, dude, it's real hard to see in a cavern with the sunglasses on.
Yes, I know. I'm glad you've come to that conclusion.
So let's call this an assistance from Commander Talas. Commander Talas, this would be Insight Medicine because you're going with the medicine angle. And if you spend that momentum, we'll say it has to be like on a medicine style question. Donko, we'll call this Insight Science. And you know that a lot of the data has been erased or corrupted. It's going to be difficulty 3.
Okay. I'm gonna use that momentum then.
I could help you. Can you do multiple assistances?
I think only one person can assist, but I don't remember fully. I
remember typing something about it. Other players can offer assistance. I didn't really get into it too much though in my notes.
Several characters when more than one character. I think anyone can. Yeah, I think you can have as many people assisting as it makes sense.
You assist a character with a task roll during their turn. See teamwork and assistance page 255. If anybody's
I'm already on that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I think you can. You just have to justify how you're able to assist.
So
what would you be doing?
What I want to do is actually do a telepathic scan of the unconscious Romulan officer. And I'm looking for key phrases and information about the project they're working on. I'm going to spend a point of determination to get a 1 on one of those dice. But then I would be relaying information that I get out of this guy's mind to Jeff's character, because then that goes under follow my lead, and he would automatically get an assistance die from me that's a 1. So,
and I just dropped in the stream chat, kind of on that page. So you may accept assistance at no cost on any individual task. So 1 assistant. You may have additional assistance, but each extra person involved creates the potential for error. Each assistant after the first either costs a momentum or adds a threat.
I'll give you a threat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but also part of that, because you're following a plan that I put together to how to try to access this information, your difficulty goes down by 1, and you'll get 2 bonus momentum to use in this action. But I first have to succeed on my my task of telepathically reading this guy.
Telepathically reading him, and what specifically are you reading him for? Like, what is?
I'm just looking. I'm scanning across his surface thoughts, because obviously they just destroyed this room. So I'm looking for his surface thoughts, his most recent memories of what they were focusing on destroying, to kind of help point us in what we need to try to pull out of the information. You know, if he's got surface thoughts about we've got to get rid of this research, I
think this would actually be presence engineering. You could make an case for insight. But I think presence because of the telepathy.
Yeah, presence for sure. Engineering, sure. I've got no problem with that. Presence engineering is a 14 on 2 dice, and my difficulty is
you only get 1 die for assisting.
No, I have to succeed at the telepathy check to get this information to give Jeff the assistance first. So I've got to succeed on the telepathy check to proc this talent.
So you have to make a check to provide assistance.
You're going to
make the check and then
talent,
have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
For this particular talent, you have to. Yep.
Usually, assisting is just 1d20.
Yeah.
Just general rules.
Aaron chose the complicated path.
Yeah. When you succeed at a task, I can spend 1 determination. If I spend the determination, somebody that can hear me talking about this plan, the next time they attempt a task, they have an assistance die from me that's automatically a 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
And since I'm spending a point of determination, I'm going to set 1 die to a 1 already. So that'll give me 2 successes, and I got a 5. So that's a total of 3 successes. So we
Okay.
need 2.
So it would have been difficulty 2 for this. So you're getting a success and 1 momentum there.
Okay.
Are you banking that or spending it?
I banked it because somebody else can eat it more than I will.
So now
So I'm
Jeff is going to
scanning-
be
so
getting the automatic 1 from your assistant die.
He gets an automatic 1 from my assistant die, and because he's following my plan, his difficulty goes down by 1, and if he succeeds, he also gets 2 bonus momentum.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I also
Talas, let's have
succeeded.
you roll your die. Okay.
Yes,
so
I rolled a 14. I needed a 14, so
you've got everything stacked in your favor, Jeff. It's difficulty 2
Okay.
now because it went down by 1. And you
I'm
got a ton
going
of bonus
to-
momentum.
I'm going to take a momentum, so put it down to 1, so that I can get a third die. I want to stack momentum up here.
We're stacking it. We're stacking it, boss.
Oh
Oh, there's
my
going to be
God.
so much here. Well, that's 2 1s and an 18.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
so those are 2 crits. That's 4 just from me. Then a 1 from Argent, which is that
So
6?
that's 6.
Yeah, 6
And
in
then
total, yeah.
1 more from
7.
Talas, which is 7. So that's 7 successes.
And then 2 more bonus momentum as well, right, Argent? Or am
Yeah,
I
he
wrong
gets
about
2.
that?
He gets 2 bonus momentum to spend on asking questions. Or
And I
whatever
get
he wants
another
to.
bonus momentum for my Trill ability. So I get 3 bonus momentum.
3 bonus momentum and 7.
So I basically
total?
just generated like 8 momentum right there.
Star Wars
Commander,
Adventures.
I would like to remind you that
How
I found
Jeff
the pad.
breaks it.
You did a great job.
It's Star Trek.
Well done.
Kipser?
Well done.
Star Trek.
Good job pushing the body over and finding it in his belly. No one would have looked for
Star
it
Trek
there.
Adventures.
That is incredible. That's so incredible. So that's 7 actual momentum, I think, and then 3 bonus momentum on top. So that's
Right.
10 to spend however
Well,
you want.
Okay.
And remember,
So-
we can only bank a total of 6. So
Right. And,
that's
and bonus momentum has to be spent. Bonus momentum, when you generate it, can't be. So what I do with my Trill ability is bonus. I have to spend it. I can't put it in the pool. So first of all, I want to spend my bonus momentum to obtain information and ask some questions.
Yeah.
So the questions I want to know.
Do we even remember what we're trying to guess
Well,
anymore?
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to examine the information that's on this
Yes.
this pad
right.
to see if the nature or the context of their study is one because they're observing an experiment that they have set up. So that's what I would basically be looking for here.
Okay. So the answer to that is no, they did not set up this phenomenon. There are notes that they arrived here following a sensor sweep of a specific phenomenon that they pursued.
Okay, so then I want to spend my bonus momentum to obtain information and ask 2 questions. The first question I have is I want to know where was the origin of that phenomenon that they found and followed here to the planet.
question.
Okay.
I enjoy doing this. This is fun. Some people like to make OP characters like for combat. I mean, I just want to ask a bunch of questions. That's all I
You're
want to
doing
do.
that real well.
That's all I want to
I'm
do.
so happy that none of the people I played.
Successes. The 3
Steven is
momentum.
going to try
Amazing.
to murder you next time.
No, I
I warned him.
genuinely
He
love
loves
this. I
this.
just want to
He
make sure I'm giving you accurate
no.
information.
Take your time. I'm just filming.
So they, the other thing is a lot of this data has been erased and corrupted, so I can't necessarily give you like everything here. But to answer your question is that they tracked it here because they thought it emanated from Morgan's Hope, but then
Mhm.
found out it came from outer space.
Okay,
And they
which-
have since been doing sweeps of the outer planets. So
Okay.
you would know that it's Carina 8, 9, or 10.
Okay. So that's the first thing. And the second question is what was their means of transport to get here? So we're in a base, not a ship. So I'm trying to figure out, do they have an associated shuttle ship, something in orbit, anything like that?
Yeah. That is an excellent question. And
That's
you
2
would
excellent
find
questions.
that there is communication between this base and I'm sorry, my notes are failing me right now.
They
There
phoned
is
home.
a Romulan ship
They
out
phoned
there.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then, my rapid hypothesis. Okay. Look at Derek's face. That's like
I knew it was
shooting through a
coming
head when
when
a
I
warrior
heard
is like,
7.
I'm gonna attack him with a sword. Like that's basically what I'm doing. This is my thing. It's science.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you would find that the communication is with a Romulan warbird known as the Bellorex. Bellorex.
Okay. So So then I guess my trait. So for rapid hypothesis, then, and we said like the first question was that they're scanning the outer planets. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Can I spend another momentum to ask additional questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
then,
long as I can give you the answer, I'm happy.
2 more questions. One, when they were scanning the outer planets, okay, did they actually get any leads on the origin of? Do they think it's actually coming from the outer planets, or is that just part of like a systemic scan that they were doing?
They originally thought it was Carina 7, and they discovered that it was not. It was coming from space. They started scanning the outer planets, and we will say that you find confirmation that they have found the site. However, the actual location of the site is not listed. That part is erased or corrupted. So they have confirmed that it is somewhere in the outer rim of the system.
Okay. And so then the last question, because every time I do obtain information, I can do 2 questions. So that's just my thing. And the second question is, when was their last communication to this ship?
Minutes ago.
Okay. So prior to our breach?
Yes. Within the last half hour, they were communicating with this ship. And that aligns with everything being destroyed. This has been a hasty evacuation. Okay.
So then I guess the trait is, so basically my rapid hypothesis is basically that, I don't know, I guess I would do something along the lines of like the Romulans like are, oh my God, this is hard. Doing this part is really hard because I'm trying to make it's derived from the questions I was asking.
And that like we could try to use in the future with the hypothesis.
So it is kind of tricky, and it's got to be something simple. So I'm always welcome to suggestions. So
they know the origin.
Yeah, I mean I think that's just a statement of fact. I don't think that's just like a trait that I'm affecting. Yeah.
You could do something like I don't know the best way to word it, but something like the Romulans are taken by surprise or on the back foot, like you've caught them unaware.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that. So like, so basically the tag or the trait is that the Romulans are panicked or something like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Considering what just happened. All right. That was my turn.
Did so we go through? We spent 2 momentum, and then it was 2 momentum to do the rapid hypothesis, or 1 momentum for that.
Rapid hypothesis doesn't cost momentum. It costs 1 momentum for me to obtain information from which I get 2 questions, and I used it twice, so I used 2 momentum. So
you've got 1 more bonus momentum.
I'll use that bonus momentum and a regular momentum to say this took roughly half the time, so this was fast. We did this quickly. Okay. It doesn't seem like it, considering real time how long that took, but it went really fast in the scene.
You processed fast.
It was like, hey, everybody, look what I found.
Kipser, to piggyback off that, you wanted to ask medical questions. Would you want to try and spend momentum to obtain information there?
Sure. How much
Normally, you can't necessarily spend it on someone else's role, but you were assisting, so...
I've lost track of how much momentum we currently have.
There are 5.
5? Okay.
5.
Well, so I can use 2 to ask a question?
It's 1 momentum to get 1 question.
Oh, there we go. All right, I will use 1 momentum. Medically, I guess, because this is affecting both environment and the populace. Do they have any sort of information in their tablet about reversing whatever is affecting them?
So you would find in the tablet, specifically that they were researching the tachyon emissions that you all discovered last session. However, they were coming at this entirely from a military point of view about weaponizing the tachyons, and they have no intention whatsoever of attempting to reverse it.
Oh, dude, they're not real smart. They think that just having like a thing that'll affect them, like a poison without an antidote, is gonna work. Because when they get hit with it, they're just gonna like have the same thing and have no way of fixing it.
True, but if they're able to find the source and weaponize it, then they've essentially got a weapon that could completely destabilize any agricultural world or population. Hook that into a deflector dish on a warbird cloaked, you could take out an entire planet before we'd even know.
Yeah, but like, I still think you gotta make an antidote to a poison that you want to apply to something.
Well, yeah, but if it's tachyon, if it's energy emission, it's a directed energy field, not a
like dude,
pathogen.
No, totally. I just use that as a metaphor, I think they're called.
You're also
Doc, you make me
assuming,
tired, but okay.
you're also assuming that the science they're conducting here is done within ethical constraints, as we have in the Federation. Clearly, that is not the case.
Yeah, bro, that's a fair argument.
Are we able to see the movement of anyone else inside? Since we've taken these three out, are we able to see what the other folks have been doing?
So you have not necessarily been scanning for life forms. You absolutely could. I'm going to tell you that it's not going to be difficult. You already know that there are 3 other Romulans in this facility. You know their general whereabouts, and the doors are closed, so they're not really able to move freely. That's not to say that they can't gain control of their system again, but they have not done that.
That's what I was wondering. If they found the Jeffries tubes and are somewhere not where we thought they were. So that's kind of what I'm looking to, like, are they still where we thought they were?
Because Donko paid to have this happen quickly and half the time, I'm going to say that they've not been able to gain control of the facility yet. And also, it's clear that this facility is now on a skeleton crew, so that even if they're working on it, repairing things are not going to be as fast as they would have been.
Could we continue forward and see if we can find someone to interrogate?
Sounds good. Cole, you and your security man stay here. Send him out. Get the other guards to come in here. Take these Romulan prisoners out, get them back to the ship, and warn the ship of the Romulan warbirds in the area.
Understood, sir. And he looks at the other security officer, who immediately begins jogging out as Cole begins moving the stunned Romulans together and keeps an eye on him. He's got his phaser pointed at him at all times. This is a man who will not slack on duty. And you can absolutely trust him to guard these Romulans.
And Hessel would confirm to Lieutenant Commander Argent that when I was seeing what was blocking the signal, there was one both here and there. So I think we have double confirmation now that there is a warbird close.
Very good, Commander Hessel. Let's see if we can find where the transmitter is here and see if we can take it out. At least that way we might be able to get improved comms with the ship.
Yes, if we could gain access to their communications logs, we might be able to use the history to perhaps triangulate where, more specifically, the warbird is.
That is a very good idea, Commander Danko. Let's proceed through the compound. Stay frosty. To the Dvorggern. Lead the way.
Okay.
Dvorggern goes and he opens the eastern door to reveal a long hallway. There are 6 doors along the opposite wall and a 7th door at the far end of the hall. Each of the doors is labeled with a number in the Romulan language, starting with 1, ending with 6. You all probably don't speak Romulan, but you've got a universal translator that would allow you to communicate with them. And then you would have basic familiarity. Commander Hessel might speak.
We also have a communications officer. So
Who is
I keep forgetting
cultural
she's in the
expert.
wrong color.
I am a cultural expert.
So if you're able to understand the writing on the door, that 7th door has a name, Subcommander Teleria.
Do we know which ones of these rooms the other 3 are in?
You would be able to determine, scanning for life forms will roll over previous successes. One of these barracks rooms has 1 Romulan in it. The other 2 Romulans are further in the facility.
Well, I don't want any Romulans behind us, so let's take care of this situation first, and then we'll take a look at what the sub-commander's quarters yields.
All right. What is your plan then? You see the barracks door. You're going to be able to open it freely. Are you going to essentially do the same thing where you go in and you try to stun?
Probably. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
We can set up.
Yeah. Set up.
So I was going to say we could set up on either side of the door, open the door, and then I could try to telepathically stun him, and then while he's a little off kilter, somebody could shoot him.
All right.
That works.
So we're going to go ahead and say that you have your plan set. You open the door, and Argent, if you want to do your telepathic attack, you know where he is. It's a single Romulan, and there are 5 of you, so he's not going to pose a huge threat, but he is still a danger. So let's go ahead and we're going to give you the initiative first. Despite him also knowing that you are in the facility, this isn't really an ambush.
So this is presence plus security for this. Now, I do have a focus in combat tactics. Since that's what I'm employing here, do you think that makes sense?
I don't think you're necessarily using tactics to telepathically.
No, but I'm using tactics to set
someone,
up our attack plan. I'm setting up our attack plan. I didn't charge in and look him in the face and attack him. But no, that's fine.
I think we could use combat tactics if you're like actually using a phaser. Once you had the telepathy in there, that's a little bit different.
So the type of weapon matters. I see how it is. What if I just use a rock?
A very tactical rock. It's painted black.
A 3 and a 1, so it's 3 successes anyway.
Yeah. You needed 2, so that's a success and 1 momentum. Is there a severity to this attack?
Severity 3, piercing, so it might pass as any armor, but I mean, I doubt he's wearing any.
Yeah, and again, the way the 2nd edition works is that essentially if they're minion level NPCs, a single hit is enough to take him out. So you're able to telepathically disable him, and this would be a stun attack, I'm assuming, right?
It can be lethal, but yes, I'm using stun. It's stun or lethal.
So you open the door and you all pour in with the tactics that you have provided. And immediately this Romulan, who has a disruptor pistol aimed at the door, as soon as it opens, he begins clutching his head, and then falls over unconscious. You find yourself in a barracks that is also very, very destroyed. There are 4 bunks underneath. The mattress pad of each bunk is a storage compartment that would like hold personal effects or spare uniforms or anything like that. But even the beds have each taken a disruptor blast. And as you will kind of wrap in that you look at all of the barracks, they all seem to have been very hastily evacuated. No one was able to even pull out their personal effects. Instead, someone just went through and just fired the disruptor pistol at each bunk.
Is there anything in the sub-commander's room?
If you head to the sub-commander's room, you open it up and you are nearly overwhelmed with the smell of burning plastic as this acrid smoke fills the air. every pad, every computer terminal, even the sub-commander's storage space under the bunk has been destroyed with a disruptor much more thoroughly than the rest of the barracks. From a cursory glance, you don't expect to find anything of use. Sub-Commander Teleria has been very thorough in this destruction.
Is there any benefit to retrieving anything that's in here that, we may not be able to kind of put it back together now, but we may be able to if we take it with us?
You can absolutely start trying to collect things and hope that there's more information on there that can be pieced together. That would be something that's more of like a extended task that would happen, kind of like a skill challenge. And you don't necessarily have to do it now because away teams can come and collect them as well.
Yeah, and this is a barracks,
note
right?
that for
I think
this
Danko,
is a barracks, and then a sub-commander has her own room.
Yeah, Danko would be like, there are still two unaccounted for. We need to find their command, the sort of the, I'm not sure what they would call it. It's on a bridge, but their kind of command hub, figure out their communications before they destroy anything else. I think time
right,
is of the
Danko.
essence.
Let's go.
All right. So you pull out of this barracks section, and essentially you have to go back to the lab to find the other access door that leads further into the facility. There were two doors that were on the same wall. And by the time you get back into this destroyed lab, you see Cole still has the Romulans, but other security officers are already inside. They have the Romulans restrained. They are still entirely unconscious, not even a bit of movement yet. And Cole very tersely tells you that he has communicated with the Intrepid. They will be moving the Romulans to be transported shortly.
Good job, Cole. There's one more down in the barracks. Send your men down to get him. We're going after the two who are still in the facility.
Understood. And that's his favorite word. Understood. Dvorggern, you open up the next door to go further in, and you find that these are administrative offices. When these doors slide open, you see a dark corridor with flickering overhead lights. Red glows from underneath the metal grates on the floor. An obvious warning of danger. Directly ahead of you is an open door with smoke billowing out. To your left is another door that's closed. The corridor turns to the right where you see two more doors. Each door is closed and has writing on it. Hessel, you're able to translate. One of them reads Sub-Commander Teleria's office. Another one reads Sub-Commander Ditok's office. D''Tok.
And so do we believe then that the two remaining life forms are one each in each of these office areas?
So these life forms actually are not in these offices. They're further through the hallway. You're able to get the readings there.
We definitely want to look through here. These are the folks that were running this whole operation. So we will want to get everything we can from there, but let's gather the last two first.
But if we find that the spaces have been destroyed, we can assume those two are just running and gunning, yes?
Now let's move on. Let's continue. Let's take out these last two Romulans, and then we can send teams down here to do a thorough sweep of the entire facility.
You round the corridor, turning to the right, and you see that it doesn't go much further, and it ends with a door that reads Power Supply Room in Romulan. Even before you open the door, you can hear the humming of a power generator coming from the room.
Oh no, bro. Do you think they're going to blow it up?
Very well.
Let's
might.
try to make sure they don't.
Power supply. So we should.
You said the life forms are in here? They're in this?
They are in there, confirmed, yes.
So Dango will say there are many things in that room that do not react well to phaser fire. So be accurate.
Commander Danko, do you think it would be possible to overload the power system to incapacitate them but not destroy the system itself?
Is there a way I might be able to send some kind of surge into the room through maybe the door panel, or through we have a data pad, something like that? Can I do some sort of remote shortage of control panels in there? Seeing if we get lucky, maybe one of them's at a panel.
Trek technology works. You would have to actually be messing with the power generator itself. Normally,
So then if that's the case, can I find a power conduit out here and then send something back through it towards the power room? Because power
That's
does
the same
go...
question.
Well, no, because like I feel like if
It's
you
in
could,
the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if there's something in the wall versus like something from a pad. Like we're taking panels off the wall.
You can do something in
Okay.
in your wall outlet that screws up your junction box.
Let's call
definitely
this
can. I've done this
daring
before.
science.
What's it? Daring science? All right. Here we go. Okay. What's the difficulty?
We'll stick with difficulty 3 because this is
All right.
Romulan technology. It's not necessarily the same as Starfleet.
I'm going to burn 3 momentum to get 2 dice.
Can I give him the help action here with my sort of improvisation focus?
Yeah, we'll call it the assist. I think it would also have to be daring science for you as well.
Not engineering? Oh. Science.
No, this should be engineering, shouldn't it? I'm sorry. Engineering for both.
I thought it
Yeah,
was.
that's fine.
Okay, daring and engineering. Okay.
So I'm waiting on the assist, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure. we were
Yeah,
waiting
I
on me.
needed an 11 and I rolled a 12.
Okay. So that's a
Not-
failure from Talas.
Not my dice.
Taco,
for
how'd you do?
dice.
I'm going to burn a determination then to set one of these dice to a 1. And then I'm going to roll the rest of them, which is going to be a total. A 1 is like a 1 is always a crit, right? Even
It's
if you
always
don't
a
have a
crit,
focus. Okay, so that's 5 successes. And then I'm going
All
to
right,
roll.
you needed 3.
I'm going to roll my veteran ability to see if I get that determination back. I do not. So there we go.
All right. So let's say that with your success, you're creating a trait in the room. What would this trait be?
That's a good question. We'll say shorting panels or something like that.
Stunning brilliance.
Shorting panels.
Clever.
We'll say that it has essentially it'll lower your difficulty. No. Yeah. Okay. Shorting panels. So there's energy and electricity that it's beaming out of any open panel, which is quite a few in here because this facility has been destroyed. And then we open the doors and go in. Oh, I'm sorry. You've got
Yeah.
extra momentum to spend if you'd like.
Yeah, so okay. So when I'm doing this, I'll just do my bonus momentum really quick for a question. As I'm like kind of tapping into the power lines here, am I noticing any significant fluctuation of power as if like that would commonly accompany like a power core breach, like a triggered power core breach? Is there any major suction of power towards the power core?
The power core is operating at maximum efficiency, maximum output. However, it does not suggest a breach. But it also
overload.
doesn't make sense for it to be putting out so much power. It's been intentionally set to have maximum energy right now, but it
Okay.
appears that the actual reactor is working fine.
Okay, so they're clearly trying to overload it. What it sounds like to me. And then, yeah, I guess the second question: is there any way to? Would I be able to figure out a way to prevent? Nah, never mind. Don't worry about the second question because I got nothing to ask. That's the problem with so many questions. I can't keep asking all these questions. We need to get in there. Basically, is
All right.
what's happening. Yeah. But we should be back up to max momentum.
Okay.
And you prepare the doors to open. As they slide through, again, smoke comes billowing out. You see both the power supply and the cloaking device for the outpost are in this room. Large conduits run overhead carrying power to the rest of the outpost, the ones that Donko literally just tapped into. On the far side of this room, A good 20 meters away from you, you see two Romulans are attaching a device to the fusion generator's main regulator. They are so intent on their work that neither of them actually looks up at you all.
I stun one of them telepathically.
All right, let's roll for it.
And since we've got 6 momentum, I'm going to spend 3 to get 2 dice, if that's okay with everybody.
Absolutely.
We'll probably get some back, but I don't want to screw this up.
And while you're doing that, shout out to Matina Hat. Welcome, Raiders. Thanks for joining us. We're
Want to try it again?
playing
Want to try it again? Matt in the hat.
Matt in the Hat.
It's
on my second monitor.
Everyone shame him.
We don't know. Shame. Every Matt I know is going to be Mutt now. Mutt. Thank you for joining us, Raiders. We're going through a Romulan outpost right now. Lieutenant Commander Argent, save me. How'd you do?
I got 5 successes, so I'm going to put 1 back in momentum. I'm going to put the other 2 towards damage, so that makes it a severity 5 stun attack against
All right.
the Romulan, one of the Romulans who's attaching it.
That successfully incapacitates them. They fall over. The other one notices and begins pulling the disruptor pistol from the holster on their side. But
Zharg, you should spend 2 momentum to keep the initiative and go as a security officer.
We don't need to spend any because I have decisive leadership, and we get to keep the momentum. We get to keep initiative for free at once every round.
Take them out.
Okay, so I wasn't actually going into initiative, but I don't want you to deprive you of using the ability. So yeah, we're in combat now, and I'm going to take the initiative. What was that, Aaron? Oh, I'm not allowed to. Okay. So who's going next?
Our security officer.
Security officer.
All right, Dvorggern.
Yeah. Okay, so because this is there's very sensitive equipment around.
Yes, there is.
Is there any loose metal? Because there's electricity arcing, correct?
Anything that you want is around here. This facility's been destroyed. There's
I don't know
everywhere.
if yeah, okay, fine, rubble. I was gonna say I don't know if they have pipe wrenches in this universe, but I was essentially gonna throw something metallic at this last person to stun him with electricity and not risk blowing up the power generator.
I love it. So we'll say you're taking a minor action to move forward. On the way, you're grabbing just a giant metal pipe, a piece of conduit, essentially, that's fallen from the ceiling. And you're going to be making a attack with a bludgeon item, it sounds like, which can be stun as well. Certain items can only be deadly. Some can be stun. Like a knife or a blade has to be deadly. Bludgeon can be stun, which you said you're doing. It'll be severity 3, one-handed. This is an opposed roll because it's melee. 1 second here, sorry. So go ahead and give me your this is going to be fitness security.
Okay. And then we have 5 momentum.
It's daring security. Daring security for melee.
Yeah.
Daring is my worst skill.
4 momentum.
4 momentum. Do we care if I take 2 momentum, I would get 2 dice?
Dude. 3 to get 2 dice.
Momentum
the first
should
one's
be
worth
2
1,
dice.
second one's worth 2, third one's worth 3.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, then
anyway.
I will.
Yeah, definitely do it.
I want to get 2 dice, so I'll take the 3 momentum, and so then I would be rolling a total of 3 dice or 4 dice.
4 dice.
4.
Yep.
4 dice.
Okay, and then you said it was daring and security, so I have to get below an 11.
Do you have any foci that would apply here as well?
Strategy of not blowing us all up. I have strategy is basically my only focus that might work here.
This is a strategy. I don't think Steven
Are you
agrees
arguing
that
for
this is
strategy?
a strategy.
Yeah, why not? The worst you can say is no.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
You give him strategy and you didn't give me combat tactics. And
I was about to say no, but I'm like, he hasn't rolled all session.
All right, remind me what the focus helps with again?
So you want to,
So then
if it's
below
lower than your
discipline score.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's These are lower. I only got one success. I got a 16, a 19, a 10, and a 7. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I don't know if it's 11. I got 2 successes. I'm sorry.
2 successes. It's an opposed roll, so I rolled for them. They only got 1 success. So that's a success and a momentum. I'm going to tell you that just hitting the guy is enough to stun him, to take him out, incapacitate him. And that banks you 1 more momentum.
Excellent.
All right. So you rushed forward. You've taken out both of these Romulans very quickly. And you see the device that they were working on very clearly is an explosive device, especially for a security officer. You would understand the basics of what this looks like. They were attempting to explode the reactor. The reactor itself is working fine. The device itself would have been the actual cause.
Do I need to roll anything to deactivate it or make it inert? More inert
That would
than
be
it is?
To see if it actually is activated would be reason engineering.
Dude, let me do that one.
And it's actually a difficulty of 0 to identify
It's not breathing,
what's going
doctor.
on. So you can take the success here, or you can roll to try and build up momentum.
Oh, it's just like the second of the J.J. Abrams movies where you need bones because he's got the steady hands. So the doctor's got the steady hands to do the thing, and you're telling the doctor how to do it. Perfect. Bam.
I mean, yeah. If Lieutenant Commander Talas wants to do it, go
my
for it.
engineering is actually pretty good. I'm an inventor is one of my traits.
Yeah. Okay. Just kind of clumsily hands it over to you.
Sure. So reason and engineering is a total of 16 for me. I will roll some dice. I got an 8 and a 9. And I also have improvisation if that matters for a focus.
I don't think 8 or 9 would be under.
Yeah. You need to get a 5 or under.
Okay. I never remember
it's
what
whatever
I need
your
to get.
skill would be, and we can only max at 5 in skill.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's what
discipline.
basically-
4 and below.
Or discipline,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So it was difficulty of 0. So you
Yes.
can identify that the device is functional and almost activated, but the timer has not been set. You were able to disable them before they were able to set the timer, so it is not counting down. You are safe as you can be with an active bomb around.
Dude, it's totally deactivated now, but somebody else should take this.
Yeah, Dvorggern will take it back and walk it
Commander
outside to one of the
Hessel, are you
crew.
able to bring down?
Say again, Lieutenant Commander?
Are you able to bring the cloaking field down and the communication dampeners so we can communicate with the ship?
I would like to give that a try. What role would that? Like, I assume there's a monitor here that I would be able to kind of make that attempt here.
Yes. So you're next to the generator. You're able to tap in somehow, whether it's through their own device or with your tricorder. This would definitely be engineering. I think it would be daring is what I feel like, to make improvised repairs or improvise a technical solution to a problem. Or possibly control. I'm sorry?
Can I assist her with that, maybe?
Yeah, I think you could absolutely assist. I think there's a case to be made for control as well, to adjust or repair a sophisticated device.
Very much prefer control over daring, and I also have a focus of troubleshooting.
I think troubleshooting would be great here, yeah. So control engineering.
Okay. And Danko?
I succeeded with the... did you want me to roll control as well, or can I use daring to like get to the panel first to get the shortage to go down?
You don't need to roll the same thing, so you could absolutely use daring.
Okay, then yeah. So because I was rolling engineering daring, so 11 under 12 would be a success.
Okay. So Hessel, if you get a success, you're getting an additional success from Danko.
Okay, so control engineering is a 14 for me,
And I probably
a
should give
3
you
in engineering
difficulty.
for the focus.
This would be difficulty 2.
Okay. And we've got momentum, so I'll take a momentum for this. So I'm rolling 3 Oh, yeah. Got an 8, a 5, and a 1.
All right. What was your engineering?
Nice.
3. So
3.
2,
Okay.
4,
So that's
5.
5
total?
total, including
5
Donkos.
totals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you only need 2. So that's a success. You're able to turn off the cloaking field generator, and you've got 3 momentum to spend here to play around with if you'd like.
So there was both the cloaking and the communications disruptor. So am I able to address both of those? Or is that kind of like one and the same, or would that be a different role?
I think if you spend 1 momentum, we can say you take them both down.
Okay. I would like to do that. And then with the third, would I be able to, and let me know if this is like a ask a question kind of a thing, attempting to triangulate the location of the ship?
The Warbird or of the
Yes.
Intrepid? The Warbird.
The Warbird. Yeah.
I don't think you could triangulate the Warbird from here. That would be something that you would need very powerful sensors like the Intrepid.
Okay.
Could.
But now you can
Danko-
actually communicate with the Intrepid without.
I was going to say,
with
can Danko try to help her, looking at communications logs, seeing where they were sending their communications, and try to develop a pattern to see if I can project where it likely was and in what kind of vector it might be on.
I love that idea. I think you absolutely could do it. I think it would take some time. That would require going through like the offices to find those sort of communications logs. That wouldn't necessarily be something that you're doing at the power gen.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I think Hessel would just sort of, now that we've kind of disabled all of that, would just attempt to just call up to the Intrepid. Away team to Intrepid, are you in receipt of the 3 Romulan that we sent back previously? We have been able to take down the disruptors here.
And you get back the crystal clear voice of Captain Shelby. Away team, it's good to hear from you. You had us a little worried for a moment. We have received the Romulan guests. Is the site secure?
And we have addressed all life signs that we scanned.
Excellent work. Go through the facility, ensure that we've accumulated all of the data that they have not destroyed, and report back.
There is still a ship. There is a Warbird in orbit. Unsure if you have been able to triangulate its location, and she'll kind of provide the information that we had, the name of the Warbird, which I believe was Bullorrex.
Ulrix.
Yeah, the Belrix.
Yeah.
Understood, Commander. Yellow alert, maximum shields. With that, unless you have something else to say, we go back and then you find that there is one more set of doors from this power supply room. These doors are actually the heaviest doors you've seen so far, almost like an airlock.
Can I take some readings with my tricorder to see what might be on the other side? Is there atmosphere? Is there radiation? Like what's going on the other side?
Yeah, this is all very basic stuff. We're not going to need a roll for it. There is atmosphere on the other side, especially from your science background. You're able to derive that this is a clean room, essentially, is what this looks like. A lab that has an airlock that's meant to keep contaminants out.
Okay. So presumably you would probably say to the doctor, this could be where they were engineering this infection, whatever we're calling it.
Oh, I gotta get in there and take a look.
We should take proper precautions.
Yeah, of course. Did we see any hazmat suits or any static
Essentially,
resistant.
you can assume that the way this airlock would work is that as you pass through the airlock, there will be sort of a energy sweep that happens that would decontaminate you. So you don't necessarily have to put on a suit unless like it. You could, but if they don't have suits, you generally don't have to worry about it yourself.
All right. Then I will see if I can't get the door to open and then walk through.
Yeah, Dvorggern, you're able to turn off your security override that you performed to make the doors activate normally again. You enter through, and there are another set of inner doors that are thicker and heavier than the outer doors. And as you pass through this vestibule, you see that there are several sensors along the wall that are now non-functional as they've been shot by disruptors. But the doors themselves are working fine. And as you open the next set of doors, unlike the rest of this Romulan outpost, this room has not been touched. Nothing is damaged. You see no disruptor burns whatsoever. The room's floors, walls, ceiling are made from a different material than the rest of the base. The rest of the base is very dimly lit, a very iron, like a dark gray look. This is very well lit, white floors, white walls. Everything is bright. Your eyes kind of have to adjust as you move in. The room also get your sunglasses back on. The room also has its own power supply sitting in the far corner next to a large console, and the fusion reactor is still on. The console is off. You also see a sturdy square table about the length and width of an average human. Several conduits hang from the table and lead back to the computer console and the fusion reactor, likely attached to a device of some kind that is now missing. And we will go ahead and cut there for the session as we figure out what the heck these Romulans were doing. All right.
Cool.
Where's
They were
my
getting their
got our-
ass kicked by Starfleet, is what they were doing. Kicked their ass.
We got our first taste of combat in the game. You know what's funny is I was talking to my wife before the session, like, I need to go so hard on this fight because, knowing this group, I need to like set the bar up so that they could take me seriously as a GM, know that I'm going to be bringing it. And I get to roll for one attack. So,
We took you so seriously, we shut you down. I kept you.
yeah.
I basically
Exactly.
grounded
That's what
you.
it was.
You were
Thank
kept to
you.
your
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
You should
I
feel
needed that.
respected
I needed that.
because we all like went full hog to try to shut you down.
Thanks, guys. I'm so
Absolutely.
glad that you respect me.
Yes.
Wait. Melissa kind of sounded sarcastic.
No,
Melissa's always
no sarcasm.
sarcastic. You know how she is.
All right. So yeah, we've kicked some Romulan butt. Aaron, what do we got going on with Garblag? Aaron?
sorry.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Nope.
Yep.
No worries.
I'm here. Yep. I had a little hiccup there, apparently. But so tomorrow, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be taking off my Starfleet uniform and I will be putting on my Marvel t-shirt. I will be the narrator as we continue our Marvel multiverse role-playing game playthrough of the Cataclysm of Kang. We are in Chapter 5, National Emergency. So definitely check it out. This should be the end of this particular chapter, and we may be seeing the Crimson Surfer show up and massacre some of my players tomorrow. So that'll be fun.
Everyone loves the Crimson Surfer, right? That's a fan favorite.
He's brand new for this campaign. So yes,
Well,
he's the Red
I meant in
Skull
Marvel
and the
in
Silver
general.
Surfer.
That's a big cameo to pop up.
Yes. An amalgamation of the Red Skull and the Silver Surfer is a very cool concept. So be fun to.
And I assume that you're basing your version of the Silver Surfer off of the movie version, right?
No, this is as I'm going to be using the character as written in the campaign. So the Crimson Surfer will be as written from the campaign.
Crimson. I'm sorry. I kept hearing silver. I don't know why I didn't connect that. I'm sounding like an idiot
That's
now.
okay.
But that's normal for me, so no problem there.
I won't hold it against you.
As for myself, I'm reaching. I don't even have my copy next to me. I'm working on my own game. It's a Weird West game. It's called Huckleberry. It's a lot of fun. My mom says she loves it. It's the best RPG she's ever played. I don't know if she actually played it, but she told me she did, and I'm going to believe her. It's available now on DriveThruRPG. If you want more details, go to huckleberryrpg.com. Some lovely people on this screen have been playing it on Saturdays, and we're giving away a physical copy on Saturday. So you should definitely join us. That's 5 p.m. Central for your chance to win a very exclusive copy of Huckleberry. There aren't supposed to be physical copies yet. These are very secret and limited. So you'll be one of the very few people to have one. Jeff, what else do we got going on?
Yeah, buddy. Lots of things. So next game for us is going to be on Thursday. You can see a few of us here playing some Simba Room. Friday, we are back to Delta Green. And we're getting high and going off in the desert. That's literally what we're going to be doing on Friday in Delta Green, and probably not coming back. So we'll see. And then Saturday, we are, as Steven's already said, we're playing some Huckleberry. It might be the finale. I don't know. Things we might just keep playing. We'll see. We're going to play by ear, but it was planned for a 3-session arc, but we're having so much fun. Maybe we'll sneak a 4-session in. We'll see how it goes. We're not going to force it. Then next Monday, we will be doing more Alien. We're getting very close to the end of that campaign. I'm not setting a specific date, but it could be next Monday. It could be a following Monday. We're not really sure. And then we'll be back on Tuesday with more Star Trek. Also, check out the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging. You can catch all our games, including we got a bunch of new games up there. Aaron just started up an awesome Dragonbane campaign. We just had our first session, so that's already up on YouTube. You can see previous episodes of our Huckleberry campaign. You can see the ragtag stuff that we've been doing the past couple of weeks as well, if you like sci-fi. All sorts of great stuff. But that's about it, man. So I think it's time for us to do some raiding. So we're going to raid Perception Studio. They're playing some Cyberpunk 2077. Before we go, thank you again to Matt in a hat for the raid.
Matina hat.
It's ridiculous. Anyhow, that's it for us. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Live long and prosper.